Hello, I'm Keith, and we're here to guide you through this information film from Collected Ireland on the Disability Allowance. This film will take a confirmed minute and will be divided into 5 sections.
Hi, I'm Jane, and these are the 5 sections. Introduction, Disability Allowance, what it is, means test, living in a disability service, earning money from work, medical assessment, rates, filling in the form, where to get the form, how the form is divided, what happens next, and useful information. Introduction. Inclusion Ireland is a national organisation working to promote the rights of people with an intellectual disability in Ireland. Inclusion Ireland wants people with an intellectual disability to have equal rights and to live the life of the choice and to have their voices heard. Part of the work of Inclusion Ireland is to provide information. In 2012, Inclusion Ireland received money to make some short films. These films will provide information on making social welfare applications. You're watching one of them now. This project is co-funded by the European Union under the Progress Programme 2007-2013. More information on Inclusion Ireland is available on the website www.inclusionireland.ie.
Disability Allowance. What it is. A disability allowance, a weekly allowance paid to people with a disability. You can get a disability allowance from the 16-year-old age. The government asked for a group look at change the age you start getting a disability allowance at from 16 to 18. This group are still looking at this. At the moment, in October 2012, no decision has been made on this.
Rules. These are the rules to qualify for disability allowance. To qualify for disability allowance, you must have an injury, disease or disability. You must believe that this disability or injury will continue for at least 1 year. As a result of this disability, it must be very difficult for you to work. The department says you must be substantially restricted in doing work that someone else your age would be able to do. You must be aged between 16 and 66. When you reach 66, you no longer qualify for disability allowance, as you can then apply for a state pension.
The main test. Disability allowance is a main test payment. To get a disability allowance, the amount of money you have must be below a certain amount.
The main things the department will look at are 1. Any income you have. Income means any money you get from a job. They also look at any money your husband or wife is earning. If you are in a relationship with someone and you are living together but not married, they might also look at the income of this person. They also look at capital. This can mean any savings you have, or investment or shares. They also look at any property you may have. However, your home isn't counted in this. If you have a savings of 50,000 or less, this does not count. There are some other rules that apply to this. You should talk to someone in your local social welfare office if you have any queries on this.
Living in a disability service. If you are living in a disability service, you are entitled to Disability Allowance.
Earning money from work. You can do rehabilitative work and earn up to 120 per week without your payment being affected. However, you must get permission from the Department of Social Protection before you start work. If you are earning between 120 and 350 a week, then the department will not look at 50% of your earnings. However, any earnings over 350 are fully assessed in the means test. The department applies what's called a reduced rate in this case. More information on this available at www.welfare.ie and citizensinformation.ie. Medical assessment. You have to ask your doctor to complete a medical report. This is part of the application form. This report is reviewed by one of the department's medical assessors.
The rates. In 2012, the weekly maximum rate of disability allowance is €188.
Filling in the form. Everyone applying must fill out the disability allowance form. Where to get it? You can get the form online via the Citizens Information Board or social protection websites. You can also get hard copies of the form from your local social welfare office or your local Citizens Information Centre.
How the form is divided. The form is divided into 11 parts.
The first page of the form gives some directions for filling it out. It asks that you use black ballpoint pen, block letters and place an X in the relevant boxes.
You need your PPS number. Everybody must fill it. Part 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Part 1. In section 1, you fill in your person details. This includes your PPS number, name, address, and date of birth.
You then have to sign a declaration saying this information is correct. You have to say if you are single, married, divorced, or in a civil partnership. They also ask if you are living with someone you are in a relationship with. They call this cohabiting.
Part 2. Part 2 deals with what income you have. It asks if you are working and where you are working. It then asks how much money you are paid. It also asks if you own a farm and how much money you make from the farm.
It also asks if you are taking part in any schemes such as Community Employment Scheme, There is a list of all the schemes and you tick a box if you are involved in a scheme. It asks if you earn any money from this scheme. It then asks if you are getting a social welfare payment from another country. It also asks if you are getting a pension or another social welfare allowance. The next questions asks if you have any savings. If you do have savings, you must give details of what bank you have savings with and the account number of your savings account. You are also asked if you have any stocks or shares and if you own any property apart from your own home. Finally, it asks if you have any other income. If you get money from any other place on a regular basis, you must put this on the form. Copies of any paperwork you have related to anything in this section, such as bank statements or payslips, need to be sent in with the form. You should write your PPS number on the back of any of these documents. Part 3. Part 3 deals with the habitual residence condition. The department says you have to be a habitual resident of Ireland.
In this section, they asked what country you were born in. If you have living out of Ireland in the last 5 years, and if you are legally entitled to be in Ireland. If you have living in Ireland all of your life, this should not be a problem for you.
Part 4. This part asks how you would like to be paid your disability allowance and if your application is successful. You can be paid via the post office or a bank and you have to give your account details.
Part 5 deals with whether you have any children. You may get a qualified child payment if you have children. You need your children's PPS number for this section.
Part 6 looks at other payments. You may qualify for a living alone increase. This section asks if you live alone. If you do, they ask when you started living alone. You can apply for fuel allowance in this section by ticking this box. If there are people living with you, you must give their details here.
Part 7 and 8. You only need to fill out Part 7 and 8 if you are living with your husband and wife, are civic partner, or someone you are in a relationship with. Part 7 asks for your partnership details, including the PPS number. Part 8 asks for details on their income.
Part 9 is a checklist. Please read it carefully. It asks for you and your partner's most recent payslips. This applies if you are unemployed during the last 12 months. So, even if you're currently unemployed, this is still relevant. You and your partner's statements from any financial institutions for the last 3 months. A letter from your doctor. It is very important that you send in all relevant information. The current waiting time for applications for disability allowance to be decided is very long, and if you do not submit all the relevant information, it could take longer.
Part 10. In Part 10, you have to sign your name. This allows your doctor to give the partnership of social protection information on your medical history. Part 11. The final section is for a doctor to fill in. The doctor must also sign and stamp the form.
What happens next? There are currently some delays in processing disability allowance payments, and it may take some time for your application to be processed. You may qualify for a supplementary welfare allowance while you are waiting for your claim to be processed. Contact your local social welfare office for more information on this. Forward the completed application form with all the relevant additional documents to the Disability Allowance section at the Department of Social Protection. Disability Allowance section, Social Welfare Services, Government Buildings, Ballinallee Road, Longford. Telephone 043 334 0000 or local 1890 92 77 70. If you are refused disability allowance, you can appeal this decision. Please see our short film on appeals for more information on this.
Useful information. If you need any help to complete this form, please contact your local social welfare office or Citizens Information Centre.
For more information on where these centres are and to download application forms, log on to www.welfare.ie or www.citizensinformation.ie. Thank you.
Thank you.